Some cars are more than just hunks of metal, leather, and questionable electric doodads. From prototypes that vanished to million-dollar treasures swallowed by history, these are the top 10 most mysterious cars ever to grace, or disgrace, the open road. Buckle up because this ride is full of surprises. Now some might call me cynical, but behind every shiny bonnet, there's usually a boardroom full of execs with more skeletons than a graveyard. And the story of the Tucker 48? It's got enough intrigue to make Agatha Christie look like a children's book author. Picture this: 1948, America's booming, and along comes Preston Tucker with a car so revolutionary, it made the big three automakers sweat. We're talking safety features you wouldn't see for decades, a design that would make a spaceship blush, and an engine. Oh, that engine. But then, the Tucker stalled. Production screeched to a halt after a mere 51 units. Some say it was the big boys, threatened by Tucker's genius, pulling strings behind the scenes. Whatever the reason, the Tucker 48 remains a tantalizing what-if, a reminder that sometimes the most brilliant flames are the ones snuffed out too soon. Now, listen closely because this next tale involves a car so rare, so elusive, it makes a unicorn look like a common pigeon. We're talking about the Green Hornet Shelby prototype, a one-off 1968 Shelby GT 500 that disappeared faster than a politician's integrity during an expenses scandal. One minute it was there, a lime green beast with more horsepower than sense, the next, poof, vanished. Years passed, whispers turned to legends, and then, just when everyone had consigned the Green Hornet to the automotive graveyard, it reappeared. But the mystery wasn't just where it had been hiding all those years, it was why? Who spirited away this automotive gem, and for what purpose? Was it a case of cold, hard cash, or was there something more, something darker, lurking beneath that muscle car exterior? Me? I reckon it was probably involved in a heist involving a diamond, a supermodel, and a very angry chihuahua, but that's a story for another time. Ah, Porsche. The name conjures up images of sleek German engineering and precision handling, but even Porsche has its skeletons. The Porsche 64, a car so rare and shrouded in wartime mystery. Imagine 1939. Ferdinand Porsche is creating something special. The Porsche 64, a sleek, aerodynamic marvel. Only 3 were built. 1 vanished during the war. Some say it was destroyed in bombings. Others believe it was hidden away. Could it still be out there, in a forgotten barn or collection? The legend of the Phantom Porsche continues to loom large. Now, I'm not one for ghost stories, but there's something about a car with a past as tragic as JFK's Cadillac Coupe de Ville that makes even the most hardened cynic feel a shiver down their spine. This wasn't just any car, it was a symbol of American power, prestige, and then, in an instant, of unimaginable loss. That fateful day in Dallas cast a long shadow, and the car itself, well, it became a relic, a silent witness to one of history's darkest moments. You'd think a car like that, soaked in so much tragedy, would be locked away, preserved as a solemn reminder of the past. But no, the powers that be decided to spruce it up, give it a new paint job, and send it back out on the road. Now I'm not saying I believe in ghosts, but there are those who whisper that the car is cursed, haunted by the echoes of that fateful day. Now, if there's one thing I appreciate, it's a car that makes a statement. And when it comes to statements, they don't come much bolder than the Bugatti Type 57G tank. This aerodynamic masterpiece was built to dominate the racing world. And dominate it did, roaring to victory in the 1937 Le Mans race. But then, as quickly as it arrived, it vanished. Of the 4 tanks built, only 2 are accounted for today. Some say they were broken down for parts, others whisper of secret collectors. Me? I like to imagine them out there, somewhere on some forgotten back road. Now I've seen some strange things in my time, but a car that can swim? That's right up there with a self-folding laundry basket and a politician telling the truth. But believe it or not, such a contraption exists. The Amphicar. Yes, you heard that right. A car that can also navigate the high seas, or at least your local pond. But the story I'm about to tell you isn't about just any amphicar. It's about the one spotted prowling the murky depths of Loch Ness. Me? I reckon it was probably just a bunch of lads on a stag do, but hey, who am I to spoil a good story? They say the sea holds many secrets, but few are as tragic, as utterly heartbreaking as the tale of the Chrysler Norseman. This wasn't just a car, it was a rolling testament to American optimism, a vision of the future that was cruelly snatched away before its time. Imagine, if you will, a car so advanced, so packed with futuristic features, that it would make even Elon Musk raise an eyebrow. It had it all. A sleek, aerodynamic design, push-button transmission, even a power sunroof that could retract completely. It was destined for stardom, a chrome-plated ambassador for the American dream. But fate, it seems, had other plans. In 1956, while being shipped from Italy to the United States, the Norseman met its untimely end aboard the ill-fated Andrea Doria. The ship sank, taking with it the Norseman and all its promise. It now lies at the bottom of the ocean, an automotive Atlantis, a silent monument to dreams dashed and a future unrealized. Now, I've driven some expensive cars in my time, but none quite as valuable, as utterly drool-worthy, as the Bugatti Atlantic. This was a car built for titans of industry, for Hollywood royalty, for people who measured their wealth in continents, not countries. Only 4 were ever made, each one a masterpiece of Art Deco design, a symphony of leather, chrome, and enough horsepower to make a rocket blush. But then, disaster struck. The Second World War cast its long shadow across Europe, and one of these automotive jewels, the 4th Bugatti Atlantic, vanished without a trace. Some say it was hidden away to protect it from the ravages of war, stashed in a secret location, its whereabouts known only to a select few. Others believe it was stolen, spirited away by opportunistic looters during the chaos of war. Whatever happened, the Phantom Bugatti remains an enigma, a million-dollar mystery that has haunted collectors and enthusiasts for decades. Now, I'm not one for history lessons, but there are some cars that are so deeply intertwined with the past, so laden with infamy, that they transcend mere transportation and become symbols. And when it comes to symbols of power, of tyranny, of a darkness that engulfed the world, it's hard to top Hitler's Mercedes-Benz 770K. This imposing beast, a car fit for a dictator, was more than just a mode of transport. It was a rolling representation of Nazi power, a symbol of fear and oppression. After the war, as the Third Reich crumbled, and the world tried to forget the horrors that had been unleashed, the 770K vanished. Some say it was destroyed, reduced to scrap metal, a fitting end for a symbol of such evil. Now gather around, because this last tale isn't for the faint of heart. This is a story whispered in hushed tones, a story that sent chills down the spines of those living behind the Iron Curtain. Forget your sleek sports cars and futuristic concepts. This is the story of the Black Volga, a car so shrouded in mystery, so steeped in Cold War paranoia, that it became the stuff of nightmares. Imagine, if you will, a time when the world was divided, when suspicion and fear hung in the air like smog, and then cruising down the streets, a Black Volga sedan, its windows tinted, its occupants hidden from view. Was it all just Cold War propaganda, a way to keep the populace in check? Or was there something more to it, something truly sinister lurking beneath the Volga's unassuming exterior? So there you have it, 10 cars, 10 stories, 10 mysteries that continue to fascinate, to intrigue, to make us question what we think we know. These weren't just machines, they were witnesses to history, to triumph and tragedy, to the best and worst of humanity. They remind us that the open road is full of surprises, that sometimes the most interesting journeys are the ones that lead us into the unknown. Which mystery fascinates you the most? Comment below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more incredible car stories.